back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Barry. With me this week are my two co-hosts, Swan and Eric.
Two of them.
I'm excited. It's Big Ass August.
Big Ass August! It's just beautiful to witness.
Isn't it just?
It's so good.
Are you happy? Are you happy you're back?
I am. It's so different.
Yeah, I know.
So for many reasons.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. Swan is back.
Let's just do it.
Let's just get it out.
Let's get me completely out of the way.
Swan. That's not
and
what I
now
meant.
He's gone.
Fade him out. A little edit in the video.
Beam me up, Scotty. Let's do it.
Snap, and he's just Thanos is.
Yeah.
He's just gone.
Swan is back at least for the next month or so.
Yeah, and I'm going to be significantly closer once I move. So.
And you'll be around on a more consistent basis.
I'm more round than I used to be anyways.
Same here.
So we're good.
David Levine was making fun of me and how tiny I looked in the first episode I did with Chad and Sarah, and now I look like I ate that Perry.
Just got the girth.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
I wasn't talking about that.
Oh, well, that's why we fixed the camera angles. Well, I mean,
My
genuinely.
white legs on here.
Yeah. Genuinely, though, we were setting up the camera. So we're at Eric's house right now because...
What are you all doing in my house?
You invited me over.
I did.
Swan I invited over.
No. Even after he talked shit about
Did you
my favorite cakes.
not want me here?
I want you here.
I've got you right where I want you.
Oh,
my
okay.
gosh.
Home court advantage.
Do you want to fight about the snack cakes now?
No.
Okay. We'll do it later.
But we
Yeah.
were setting up the cameras, and like I was in a chair that was above the table,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can see all of my rolls.
You look like the king of the podcast.
I don't want that though.
But you are.
Yeah, I know. I'm the podcast czar.
This is your podcast.
This is my bourbon podcast.
For now.
It is. For now.
Stop. Every time, see, it gets less and less funny the more times that it's said because it feels more and more serious.
It is. It's
Yeah,
deathly
yeah,
serious.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to just start
This
sending
is
you
not
recordings.
A bit. I don't know what the joke is right now.
I might be smiling, but I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If you are watching this on YouTube, but you would rather listen to the video, listen to the audio version,
You would rather not see our faces.
you would rather it just
turn it off.
just go to a podcast.
But like
Podcatcher.
before you leave.
Like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a comment. If you are listening or if you're coming in for the first time, I'm doing a really poor
God
job of
help
introducing
you.
this. My medicine hasn't kicked in yet.
He took an extra dose because there's two co-hosts.
But if you are listening for the very first time, thank you so much for being here. If you are returning, we hope that you have been well. Thank you for coming back. If you've not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. I don't think that we have a new one this week. Still don't have a barrel ring either. I don't know what's up with that.
I mean, I'm going to have to start showing flashing something to get some barrel rings around
You're
this
already
place.
showing 70% of your thighs.
It's true. And the not tanned part. Why is it? Just call the number.
859-428-8253.
Call it right now and talk.
I'm confused. If he's showing the not tan part, are you saying you're tan from the short up?
Oh, he brings a good point.
I was talking about that.
So
part of my
are you
thigh.
wearing reverse pants when you tan?
reverse pants?
It's
That's just called thigh highs.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's just leggings, isn't it? Yeah. Reverse pants.
Reverse pants.
Is that like crisscross?
I'm wearing assless chaps backwards.
Damn. I wear my hoodie upside down so my balls hanging and the hood.
Careful now, you're about to get banned off Facebook again.
Oh, yeah.
We're not
Calm
gonna be able
down.
to put this on YouTube anymore.
Well, just I play basketball. Well, let's talk about
Yeah.
basketballs.
Sure.
I did get back. I'm back on Facebook now. If anybody
Yeah,
wants.
you were. You had a couple of days off to think about
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
How
I
did you feel about it? You did it.
I was more mad I couldn't reply back to Swan stuff the whole time. I'll be honest.
Swan came in hot too.
He did.
Yeah, you took a vacation. I was like, it's my time. It's my time to shine.
That's true.
But also support the show on Patreon. It's patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month, for as little as $5 a month. Bonus content, including all of the big bonus stuff that you are going to get for big ass August. It's this is mine and Eric's birthday month. So we're celebrating by asking you to support the show on Patreon. You're going to get so much extra bonus content over there.
Stuff you may not even want.
This week, to kick things off, we're going to be reviewing a bottle that has been in Eric's collection for quite a long time at this point, and is just a beautiful piece of...
It was a gift from Swan, actually.
Oh, no. I didn't know we were actually doing this.
Oh, we're actually doing it. Okay. We're actually doing it.
It needs reviewed.
Pay for us to suffer is essentially what we're asking here. But we normally start out each episode with a thing either called Sips and Snacks or Flying Blind. And it seems like this week we've got a Flying Blind. So Eric's blinding us with something.
I do.
Great.
Listen, I found, I have not had this bottle in a while. And I tried a little bit of it the other day. And I was like, this is very unique, and I kind of like it, but I don't know if anybody else will.
Okay.
So it's been in the back of the shelf for a little bit.
We're going to find out. I guess we should look away.
I feel like I'm the person that usually gets the weird whiskey that no one wants.
Eric likes weird.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Eric likes funky nerds.
I do like funky.
Have you had the funky nerds yet?
I've not had the funky nerds, but you guys have also
Let's
not
get
had the Perry
Uptown
Secret
funk
stock yet.
Oh, that's true.
Let's do a whole funky episode.
Let's get funky.
Do all the funkiest stuff. I'll bring funky nerds. Swan can bring something funky. Play Bruno Mars.
That's what we'll do for... Oh, this is the episode that comes out the week before my birthday as well. I just realized. So, happy birthday to me, I guess.
It's not your birthday yet.
Okay.
We'll be recording your birthday episode next week, though. I got a little Sips and Snacks. I go off for Barry.
I'm excited. If it's durian cakes.
No.
Oh, it smells great.
You like that? You like that?
I just went for it.
Swan's forgotten all the protocol for podcast episodes.
It smells very chocolatey and like smoky, and it's just this weird chocolate. It's almost like a...
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely a weird chocolate. I can't place it. Do they do smoked chocolate? Like,
it does kind of feel like that, for sure.
Maybe
with
chocolate,
some like
old-fashioned, like chocolate bitters, and they smoked it.
with some candied bacon.
Dude, it's savory right on the finish, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good.
I really like this. I feel like you have It's Bourbon Night glass.
I think that was mine. I think we switched.
Oh,
I mean, that's my glass, but...
well, what'd you switch for?
I don't know. I got a Wild Turkey glass back.
Oh no, I mean like. Oh, I thought you meant that you and Eric switched glasses.
Oh, no.
No. I got that for being the referee.
Oh,
Yeah.
filling in for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, for me. That's what he did. I had
did.
COVID.
He did.
You could almost fill these shoes, but
He just filled in.
I mean, you were my replacement.
Yeah. Maybe I was. Okay. Anyway, I got a glass. Chad gave me a glass before I left.
everyone
glass.
wants to feel like the number one choice, Perry. Okay.
You're the number one choice to replace me. I just saw the stare that you gave the camera. That was great.
Just followed up by a head pat. Just there you go.
Well, I didn't let you down, okay?
You did not. You did a great job. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen my share of the profits yet. So,
You're using the glass right now. So
dang it.
I'll let you borrow the glass for this show. This is good, though, right?
Yeah, back to the whiskey. It's very good.
It's like funky chocolate stuff.
I have no idea what this is.
This is a single barrel. And this was one... I got like a... it's been like a year or two, but I got a free shipping on Sealbox. So I got a Sealbox pick, and I got a Pursuit Series single barrel.
Oh, snap.
This is 4 years old, 104 proof. This is from Finger Lakes Distilling.
No kidding. This is really good.
Yeah, it does not
Where's
feel like
Finger
it's 4
Lakes
years.
at?
New York.
Yeah.
New York. Okay. And
Spicy Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's what made me get it. I was like, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So it was one of those deals where I ordered a couple bottles, and it was pretty good.
Do you want to check out the
Good
bottle
tasting
before?
notes, yeah.
Yeah. I like that a whole lot. I'm really impressed with that. So, not that we have to tell Kenny and Ryan, good job, but good job, Kenny and Ryan.
Good job.
Yeah, take the compliment anyways. Just roll with it.
just shut up and let.
Do they still do those, or do they just
Yes,
pursue
but they're
series
up to like
now?
60s.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, they posted on their story the other day of some of them going down the bottling line.
That's cool. I'm glad that they're still doing that alongside the Pursuit United stuff.
Yeah, me too. It's been a good venture for them. I'm glad to see somebody kind of make it into what I think a lot of us would consider kind of the dream space for bourbon social media, like
Yeah.
making your own whiskey.
made
It absolutely is, and I think that they're just in general like the ideal pinnacle for
Yeah,
what you want to do with a bourbon and any kind of like influential platform.
yeah. They'll let
So-
you know it's possible. To make that jump. It may take forever, but
follow your dreams.
it's cool.
I mean, we're almost 5 years in, and I'm still like,
Keep it together, Perry. Keep it alive.
I'm not giving this up.
Good. We're about
No,
to.
I
I
mean-
brought you back.
Thanks.
What does that mean?
It's elevating everything
It
that we're
means
doing
that you're my
already.
replacement, and you filled in, and you did a great job.
You were Swan's number one replacement. But now Swan is the number one guy who's coming back to the podcast. Do you, think Tanner's going to come back and do this again?
Yeah, Kurt and we're gonna. No, honestly, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like you've done a great job with it, and honestly, taking it to just a strange level. But I had to go for the callback. I had to.
Oh no, I love it. I love all three of us being here together. 'Cause
It's definitely I have to kind of adjust to the energy that it brings between the three of
kind
us
of like
together.
that first time we recorded when I wasn't officially on the podcast, and it was
Oh,
a
at the meetup weekend
Yeah, that was
last
a
year?
wild one. Yeah,
Poor Fred.
It's the best ending to an episode ever, though.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Guys, what have you been drinking recently?
Scotch. I know it's terrible.
Off the pod.
No, actually, I've had quite a bit of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. That's been kind of my go-to. That
Yeah.
and then the new Templeton Cast Strength has been really good. That is
Still
a
have not had that yet.
steal, man. It is
Yeah.
a absolute steal. 114-ish proof, cast strength rye, non-age stated, definitely MGP, and like I picked it up for like $36.99. Like it was nothing.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not at that point?
Is
Why
that
would you not?
MSRP?
I don't think so, but the store that had it was $32.99, and
Yeah.
I got it out the door for $37. So I bought like half
Yeah.
a case. So
Well, I definitely need to try some of that.
yeah, it's
For
very
sure.
good.
Any particular scotches that you need to bring up?
You guys will taste them. Yeah,
That sounded like a threat.
Damn,
It is,
that
yeah.
was a threat.
Yeah.
I felt that.
but none of them repeated. So I'll take it easy on you. We'll make sure that it's
Paid is paid. That's the only Pete I know around here on this podcast.
Yeah.
Pete Samuels.
Paid is paid.
Who we've not done anything with. Maybe we'll do something on the. Yeah. All right. There we go. See? Pete's coming back for the
Pete's coming
Patreon
back.
stuff.
It's
For
Pete's birthday too.
It is.
Yeah,
August 43rd.
take it. It's like happens once every million thousand years or whatever.
Eric, what have you been drinking recently?
Had a Starlight pick in the second series of Jurassic picks from Bourbon Finds and Steve Beerman's Bourbon. This one's finished in rum casks.
Nice.
It was really good. It's very. I paired it with some Welch's gummies. I may have said that already. Actually, I had some more of it. Actually.
I think you did say that last week, actually.
I had some more of it the other day. Shared it with the neighbor.
Is this the same neighbor that offered something, like sold something to you?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, we
was
need to
ominous.
we need to open that sometime.
We do
Maybe
need to
for
open
our
that.
birthday or something.
Sounds good to me. I don't think we can talk about it on the episode.
You're good. I'm just not filled in, so I'm just like, sold them what?
Do we want to cut this out real quick and tell
Okay.
them? Okay.
Yeah.
And we're back. I hope that lined up seamlessly
It should
in
have.
the video.
It should have. The only other thing I opened that I really enjoyed, and I was going to ask Swan, I got a 1792 pick from Total Wine. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if you were on that pick, or I know Chad was on it.
I was not. No, that was a Kentucky pick only.
Okay.
So it didn't make it outside of
Gotcha.
the 4 stores.
It's really good. I hated admitted to Chad that he picked a good barrel. It hurt my soul. I died a little bit inside.
Yeah.
But I admitted it was good. And then I was laughing because he didn't even get a bottle and I've got one.
Yeah. One of the guys that I like, when he first started at the store, I kept giving him whiskey samples, and he went from like, yeah, I kind of like, Woodford and all this. And he went and just like, now he's like telling me about stuff.
Yeah.
He went on that pick too. So it was kind of cool for him. It was his first, I think it was one of his first barrel
It's
picks.
good.
Nice.
It's sitting over there if we want to try it later, but it's
I
really
would love
good.
to try
Yeah,
some
I'll
of
make
that.
sure to take a picture of me sipping it and send it to Chad.
Yeah, please
Yep.
do. Please do.
He deserves that.
So we went to see the Yacht Rock review last night at Manchester Music Hall. And I went into it thinking, you know what? I don't want to spend a lot of money. And I'm trying to lose weight, so I drank a bunch of light beer.
Nice. At least you didn't drink seltzers.
No comment. I didn't. But
That's
I
how
don't
you
think
lose
it's
weight, and they make you poop everywhere.
everywhere.
Everywhere. You can't hold it in.
But I was just drinking like Coors Light and Miller Lite for a while. But Manchester also has their own Knob Creek pick.
Ooh.
That is spectacular. Kind of spicy peanuts and some chocolate. Yeah. But otherwise, nothing really super of note. I forgot to talk about this. But this is the first bottle of Larceny Barrel Proof that I've actually bought since they started.
We
everything.
enjoyed that one.
And it was because we liked it so much.
Yeah.
But the B522, which I don't know if you've had or not, Swan.
I have not had a whole lot of Larceny Barrel Proof at all.
I think this is easily their best batch.
It was
a good one to start
between. Did I say that I liked it better than the B Elijah Craig?
I think so. I think we both did.
I think it's great.
And
That
I mean,
one's good.
there's a reason I brought this over and not the B522 Elijah Craig, because I think this is a just better product overall.
I tried the first one of these, the first batch of this. And
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, I'm good. And then didn't really go back to it.
They've actually went up kind of up the hill, I think.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, while we're doing the news and everything, we'll pour a little bit for all of us. And,
Sweet.
we do have a review that we're going to get to towards the end of the episode. Do we have any housekeeping we need to take care of? Do you
I don't
think
think we already talked about Big Ass August. We're going to
Yeah.
be doing stuff there.
Patreon.com/Bourbon Podcast.
New Patreon member. We'll talk about how
At
I
the
ran
end.
into him the other day.
It's amazing that you just keep running into these patrons.
I mean, I just.
What are you threatening them with?
No, I just see
are
them
you-
at the grocery stores and like the butcher
It seems like
shops
it's
and
it's
stuff.
mostly the meat counter for some reason.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not kidding.
This time, though.
It's
Just like holding the cleaver, like, hey, you should really.
It's podcast canon. Yeah.
That's true.
What are you doing walking around with a sickle?
Yeah, I'll support your show.
Just threaten everybody. We are getting closer to, as well, figuring out what water charity we're going to use for our charity campaign coming up in November. Had some really good suggestions thrown our way as well, which I haven't even told you about. But we've got some really good options. I've got a couple that I'm kind of looking at and debating over as well. But we'll let you guys know before too long where we're going to land with that. There's some boys playing video games upstairs.
Yeah,
too.
my kids are playing video games upstairs. So
I don't know if it's coming through on the mic or if we're just hearing it outside of our headphones.
I don't think it ever does.
I don't know
think it's just
if you can hear Marie barking at my house. I feel like you might be able to hear.
Boys, quiet.
It worked.
We'll see.
Wow.
The funny thing is they got headphones on too playing video games. So
Oh,
they
well, never
didn't
mind.
hear shit.
Me over here thinking, damn, that really worked.
So this
That was impressive. Wasn't even that loud.
If only parenting were that easy.
Yeah, sure.
I've had a challenging couple weeks with parenting, so It's nice to just hang out with
Yeah,
you
I
boys.
just shoved my cat in a cage and moved down here, so it was pretty easy.
You moved down into my basement?
Yeah, I've been sleeping in that tent right there.
There's your. I thought that somebody had been living in there. You're squatting in my tent. My kid's tent over here.
Wouldn't that
Dad,
be, wouldn't that be
there's a
funny?
swan down here. Oh, it's all good.
There's a TikTok in there somewhere. Maybe we'll record something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, using your kid for content.
Well, who would do that?
Not me. Let's get to some news, though. Shall we?
Tell
do
us
it.
about it. Jim Beam.
What even is this article?
I don't know. I just saw a lot of Jim Beam.
Nah, it's just
Oh, yeah. There's music playing if you can't hear it.
they can't.
I love that song.
This is just an outdated article. Basically, they're just way behind, saying that Kentucky's doing really well.
Sonoma
with
of the
bourbon.
South.
Yeah.
Heard that before.
Let's talk about some controversy, though.
Love hot takes. Let's go.
We're gonna get to the hot takes, high proof hot takes later, though.
Oh gosh, I didn't think
That's a new segment.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
real. You brought this on.
It's really, really happened.
All
You
right.
did this.
Do I get to use one of mine that I've already done?
No, you got to do a new one.
It's got to be a new
Dang
one
it.
because you put too many in the Facebook group. This is my Bourbon podcast group on Facebook.
Get in there.
So, this is really weird, but Israel is putting out Israel as a country. But there's a distillery in Israel that is putting out what they are calling a Kentucky whiskey.
What?
Okay.
The brand is called Slingshot. It's from Israel's Legends Distillery. 90 proof. But basically what's going on here is they understand that they're not allowed to call themselves bourbon. Because they're not made in the U.S. And they're aging their spirits in Cabernet barrels. But they do conform to a bourbon mash bill. Meaning
Just the mash bill or also the barrel type?
it looks like it's just the mash bill. So 60% corn with wheat and barley making up the rest, much like a wheated bourbon. And the profile has striking similarities to bourbon. So, I mean, they're really not... there's no reason to even call it Kentucky whiskey. I mean, you may as well
Kentucky
just...
style whiskey?
I mean, but you could even just call it like an American style whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, because there's nothing inherently Kentucky about that.
Kentucky rules, though.
No, I mean, you're not wrong, but I'm just saying, like,
I get you.
the implication here is that they're making a whiskey that is reflective of what comes out of Kentucky, but really, I mean, it's just it's just a style of American whiskey. So I don't know.
What kind of rick houses and stuff they have there.
I don't know.
With like the weather and everything, you know what I mean?
So they apparently the first bottling of Slingshot came out last winter. It was aged between 2 and 2.5 years, and they said that the climate in Israel accelerates maturation, making that time period the equivalent of 5 to 6 years in Kentucky.
Damn.
I feel like that would be almost more of a Texas style.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I'm actually okay with them calling it that, mostly just because did you see the rebuttal that Kings County had about their Irish style whiskey?
Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah.
The last episode that you were on, we talked about this.
I think that's totally fair. I mean, they basically just said, hey, it's something style whiskey. I think if they add style, it'd be a little more defendable.
Yeah, but I think inherently, though, it's just not really a Kentucky whiskey. It's just like mislabeling it for the sake of selling product. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Clickbait.
I think if they had said Kentucky style bourbon, that would be one thing. But this is such a generic method of producing whiskey throughout the
like a
United
cash grab.
States. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
exactly.
get it. I'm okay with the concept of it. I guess I just want it to be done a little better.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I've had that right there. That
We're
Schmaler
gonna get
whiskey.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in just a minute.
I'll
But
try some Slingshot.
I would like to try it as well. 3 different expressions available: small batch, single barrel, and barrel proof. It's only available in Israel and for purchase online, but the plan is to bring it to the U.S. soon. And the Rob report says, but maybe not Kentucky.
That ain't no different than what it is now, though. We'll make Kentucky bourbon, and then we'll not have it available in Kentucky. So.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into kind of new products here for a second before we get into the actual list. Swan and I were looking at this before we started recording. There's a new product from Bourbon in Virginia. That is distilled in Kentucky and redistilled in Virginia. Undisclosed mash bill, non-age dated, but at least 4 years old. From this year, 80 proof and $14, ladies and gentlemen. It's Virginia Gentleman.
This feels like...
Doesn't it look like Kentucky Gentleman?
The people that work at Bowman basically got around a table while they were just absolutely drunk and started spitballing ideas. And then they were like, what if we made KG, but we made it Virginia Gentleman?
My favorite thing is it does a bottle, bar, or bust. And look what their answer is.
Bottle if you can find one.
If you can find one.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from bourbonandbanter.com. It says share with fans of bottom shelf bourbons.
Hey, I like that real crappy stuff. Bring over some more of it. Like, what?
It says certainly worth the price for a bottom shelf bourbon, though. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to try this now.
Of course.
You can also get a handle for $28.
Damn.
And you can even get it in minis.
If I can find this over my next, like, however long that I'm not working, I'm gonna see if I can get that in a bottle of KG, and I'll blind you guys with it.
Good luck finding KG.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I know. That's the.
I could like
It's the new
accidentally
blends,
step on a
dude.
bottle just walking into a liquor store. They're using it as a doorstop.
Yeah.
Kentucky's Gentleman.
And then it explodes. And they're like, we got to replace the handle again.
Kentucky Gentleman's.
So it looks like Jim Beam is going to be expanding even more on the Booker No Distillery in Boston, Kentucky.
Boston Road? That's
Yeah,
right behind my house.
Right by you. You're just doxing yourself.
Shit.
They're gonna go. Somebody's
Bleep
gonna
that
go.
out.
Somebody's gonna go door to door and be like, "Are you Eric?"
Man, how would that work if he opened the door and then he was like, "No, that's not me.
Yeah.
Absolutely not."
I didn't watch the video version, so I don't know if it's you or not.
I don't
See you
think
later.
I don't think I can bleep that out.
I don't
'cause
care. I mean, I've talked about it. But
You gonna give your actual address?
no, just my cell phone number.
Oh, goodness gracious. But they are expanding to the tune of $400 million.
That's a lot.
I imagine that it's going to be a bunch of rick houses and expanded still so they can make more whiskey. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of information about it, but the Boston, Kentucky plant is not their main one. Even though they're using a picture here at gobourbon.com of the Jim Beam barn. Excuse me.
It is a barn.
Yeah, in Claremont. But, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Build
Well,
stuff. Make it big.
Yeah. Do more. Make good whiskey.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah. We got a toasted marshmallow bourbon from Hotel Tango.
Toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, it's called Schmallow.
I love that name.
Actually,
That's the best label I've ever seen.
it's actually
great.
pretty good.
Is it?
You've had it?
I've had it. Yeah.
I mean, I've liked everything from Hotel Tango so far, so...
this distillery was like 5 miles from my house where I moved.
I want some
So
Schmallow.
they would bring it in. They're like, "Do you want to try this?" And she told me it was called Schmallow bourbon, and I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I tasted it, and I was like,
Schmallow corn.
"What? Why is this so sweet?" Yeah, why is it so sweet? And then she told me it's got some sweeteners in there, and it's legitimately like a flavored whiskey.
Oh, okay.
It's only like 70 proof too. It's not super high, but
60 is what I'm seeing here.
yeah, it's not crazy high ABV, but it makes a killer smoked old fashioned.
I believe that.
I bet.
It
Yeah.
is so good for
I would
that.
love to. I would use this almost as like a double base for for a spirit in an old fashioned. Like use this in maybe, I don't know, like a bottle and a bond or something
Yeah.
to kind of even out the proof a
I
little
just
bit.
did that and just completely left out the sugar. No simple
Oh,
syrup.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was great. Threw some bitters in there.
Yeah, because
smoked
it's
it.
already sweet.
Yep.
That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to taste it. I like Hotel Tango. Everything that we've had from them has been really good so far. So, looks like we've got a new spirits brand from an old winery, Spirit of Gallo.
That's what you want.
Yep. But they are, according to PRNewsWire.com, making a strategic investment in Horse Soldier Bourbon, and effective immediately will begin distributing the brand in the United States. Gallo is one of those brands, though, that, I mean, they have been around for a long time. They're super well known. So as far as like a business standpoint goes, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad thing for them. I do think that they could make some really good moves happen. However, I don't know. When was the last time that other than like the Carters, like when was somebody that was in charge of a wine brand taking over a whiskey or creating a whiskey brand? When
so
did
there's
that
a
work
big
out?
difference because at least for what the Carters are known for, like that's some premier like top shelf. You've got a really good palate.
Yeah.
Gallo family supplies most of the wine to like Olive Garden. So it's a bit, I don't know. That to me it feels
I
different.
could do some all-you-could-eat breadsticks and salad right now.
Oh wait, what if we get all you can eat breadsticks and salad and Horse Soldier bourbon?
Pair it up.
I'm good. That's the sound I make when I drink Horse Soldier.
We'll do it.
Sound like the horse. It's okay.
I'll pair it up. I just want breadsticks.
Yeah, you're right though. It doesn't happen much, and it looks like they're also paired with E&J. So
Yeah, they've also got a whole lot of brands under Spirit and Gallo. New Amsterdam Vodka, E&J Brandy, Rum Chata, Rum Haven, High Noon too. They distribute High Noon. That's crazy. Dalmore, a few others as well. Lo-fi aperitifs. So anyway, good for them. I'll be interested to see. Swan, do you want to talk about some Scotch releases?
nope.
Okay.
We'll do it if we ever do a Scotch episode.
A weeded whiskey from Washington. Dry fly cask and release. Summer 2022 releases. Non-age stated 90 proof.
Swan's shaking his head
$50.
It was a young release from them, but it was one of the worst things I've ever had. But at the same time, I have been told that the one that I picked up was specifically not their best showing. So maybe I need to go back and go try it.
Well, fair enough, but that's the only non-Scotch or Irish whiskey that we've got to talk about.
And I can't even say anything about
This week.
Washington whiskey. I've had 4 or 5 different distilleries from Washington and loved all of them.
Yeah. There's an Ireland single malt that's 18 years old for $500 coming out. Sláinte 18.
Just 500.
Just 500.
Okay.
Whoa, a 72-year-old Scotland single malt.
Might give you a cigarette,
72 years old.
$65,000 a bottle.
You're on
Yeah.
that sample list, right?
I'll see what Did you ever figure out whether or not we're going to get a sample of that cocktail from Disney?
Not yet.
I have to do all the work around here.
I'll work on it.
That's all that
I like
we
that
have
shirt.
for. Hey, man. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we didn't even talk about that up top. Your area where you came from in Eastern Kentucky has suffered pretty heavily from some historic flooding.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'll throw a link in the description below for the video and for the episode.
I'll probably
for
mention it later on, too.
Yeah,
So.
for the Eastern Kentucky Relief Fund. So if you would like to go and support Eric's home area.
Whenever I would do the flashback, yeah, that's the place that if you see Heinemann on any of the news stuff, like that's where I grew up. So it sucks.
I'm really sorry about it, too.
It's all good. Everybody I've talked to so far is safe. So
I'm glad. We're going to talk about some TTV labels. First of all, from Single Cask Nation, a single batch nation, blend of straight whiskeys from Indiana Aged not less than 4 years old. Looks to be 111 proof, 111.8 proof.
Can they tell me the oldest thing in there?
MGP.
Just
MGP.
No, it said it.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just MGP is the oldest thing in there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just saying no less than 4 years old. So looks like it's going to be sweet and spicy. What did I say?
Ooh, I want this.
Yeah, Lux Row putting out Old Ezra 7-year straight rye whiskey. Looks to be their foolproof version.
Look at them using foolproof.
Yeah,
Not being from Sazerac. Look at them.
Ezra Daddy.
114 proof. I can get on board with some of that.
I'll definitely be on board with that.
Anything in particular you guys want to?
Yeah, the way down the mountain release. It's like 20. What was it? 25
Good
years old.
fucking bourbon. That's what it says on the label.
That is what it says. 80 proof though.
Yeah, you better figure out another word using that one.
The Bourbon Den on Instagram says if you have to scream it so loudly, it probably isn't.
Could just take
Dude,
the.
I just did that.
I would honestly be more inclined to buy it if they took the good off of it.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
Good, and then take the G off, and then just there you go. Slap.
Virginia bourbon.
Yep, good to go.
70% corn, 20% rye, 5% wheat, and 5% barley. 4 grain. How about that? Which one were you talking about there, Swan?
Oh, the way down the mountain. Isn't that one just like
There we go.
ridiculously old? What was that one? Yeah, look at that. 96 to 2022.
Holy moly, 25-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's batch 3, too.
Now it is sourced because I looked at the back of the label and it says it's distilled in Kentucky from like Stedman. I forget where it was at, but yeah,
Way down
Stanford.
the mountain.
Stanford, Kentucky.
Well, it's bottled by.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
distilled in Kentucky and then it's bottled in Stanford.
Yeah.
2,000 bottles. Man, they must have really gotten some barrels. That's like what, 8 barrels ish?
Yeah.
Once you start getting that old, 8
Yeah.
to
What's
10.
the proof on it? Does it say?
103 proof, it looks like.
Maybe
Above
even more than
100.
that.
103.2, I think. Or 102.2.
Is that a
I'm not good with
Wildcat?
that.
Is that Kentucky Wildcat right there?
I
That
guess
is.
so.
I'll take it.
I don't know.
Let's try it. Hit us up with a sample.
Some raspberry good times.
No.
Whistle Pig Boss Hog,
What? I'm always down for that.
number 9.
That's a lot going on in that label.
Yeah, 106.2 proof.
Finish in
Straight
grape
rye whiskey.
fig nectar and
Big news?
Scratch Tentura barrels. Does anybody know what Scratch Tentura is?
No.
It's called the Siren Song.
that sounds dangerous.
Isn't that, yeah, don't you get killed after you hear the siren song?
Pretty much, yeah. Blackberry Good Times Rye, Raspberry Good Times Rye.
No.
Hoosier Gold. There's some absolute hitters
Who's your
this
daddy?
week. Bourbon whiskey with a rum barrel finish.
Okay.
Let's see if they list the.
MGP?
Oh my goodness gracious! Look at all of the bourbons that went into this. So this is from Cardinal Spirits. The 3-year bourbon, 51 corn, 45 wheat, 4 barley. 6-year bourbon, 75 corn, 21 rye, 4 barley. Another 6-year bourbon, 60 rye, 36 rye, 4 barley. I said 60 rye twice, or 60 corn, 36 rye. Sorry. 7-year bourbon, 75 crimson corn, 21 rye, 4 barley, and 7-year bourbon at 60 corn, 36 rye, 4 barley.
That's a lot going
finished, and the last one was finished in a plantation rum barrel for 2 years.
You know, I'm interested
much.
just because plantation rum's actually really good. I do like plantation rum.
Dig it.
Dig it.
It says it on the label.
Yeah.
It says it on the front label. Dig
And
it.
honestly, I feel like when I bring over those Perry Secret stock, we need to give them a little credit for
I've
some of the
got
stuff
'em.
they do. Good.
I've got them.
Okay.
Yeah, because Chad gave them to me. Because you gave them to him first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His video on
Sloppy
that was
seconds.
telling.
I didn't watch it all the way through because I didn't want to have any influence going into it.
Oh, I've had them.
Yeah,
I'm influenced.
I know you have. Anyway, we got a 12-year-old World Whiskey Society Reserve Collection bottling. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in Armagnac casks. And it's distilled at Heaven Hill. What you need?
Isn't that thing? World Whiskey Society.
Oh, look, it is.
So it's going to be that, just with the different label. Are they redoing the labels?
I think it's a different thing.
Okay.
Maybe.
12-year age stated. I don't know. I mean, it could be good. I think it would be worth picking up if it's not just stupid expensive.
That was a gift, so I have no idea what it is. So I just drank it.
Can I have some?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of questions that? What if I said no? What would you do? Would you go,
I paid nothing for it, and it's one of my favorites.
I'd say okay, and I'd move on.
no, you would. You better fight back. You better
know
look
what?
me in the face and go, I'm having more. I'm having some. That's what you better do.
Well, Swan doesn't want any.
I'm just telling you, you better fight back.
Well, Swan's refused it.
If you're in my basement and all this stuff is here and I say no, you better punch me in the face if I don't say yes.
I'm excited about that.
Which one? This
The
one?
one in the middle.
Oh, okay. We'll get there here in just a second. Hamer straight bourbon whiskey finished in honey barrels.
They've got a lot of those. Any of the Hugh Hammer ones,
Yeah.
they're all finished. Any of the old Hammer, it's just the regular 99% corn.
103 proof. It doesn't look like it's showing the
Finish on that is amazing.
Kentucky single malt whiskey, 13 years. Is this from Town Branch?
It is from Town
Bottled
Branch.
and bond?
13 years and their own product.
And bottled and bond. My goodness gracious.
You remember that sherry one that I brought over that was like
Yeah, of
almost
course.
red? Yeah. Same thing, but it's going to be I don't know what the finish
Oh my
is on it.
goodness.
Or the maturation, I guess.
Is that the one you gave me a blind of that time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. But this one isn't finished or anything.
It doesn't say. It may be finished or matured in something, but it just I don't know. They didn't list it.
Thought you were getting ready to do the neck record.
Hey, what's that finished in over there?
Can it actually be? I don't think it can be finished for it to still be considered bottled and bond, though.
I don't know.
Isn't that
I have no idea. I've never seen a single malt do bottled and bond. I've only ever seen bourbon and brandy.
that Jack Daniels triple mash is still bottled and bond.
That's
It's
true.
It's all
that's
crazy.
That's not finished though.
I know, but still,
It's
it
a
seems
malt
like it's like
whiskey with bottled and bond, though. You're right. I've never seen that outside of that and
yeah.
that sacred bond brandy that Heaven Hill makes.
But for it to be bottled and bond, it doesn't have to be like bourbon or rye.
No, it doesn't. It's just not a whole lot of people shoot for that distinction.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's not
It's
much
true.
different, crazy bottled and bond stuff other than
Yeah. Rabbit Hole Derringer Founders Collection.
Derringer. Isn't that the one with the gun on top of it?
Derringer?
I don't know.
This is Derringer.
thought
Have
you
we
said
been saying it wrong this whole time?
Derringer.
I don't know.
Is this a
Maybe.
different thing?
Must be.
I mean, Dare does have an E at the end of it. I still have that shirt telling me not to
Darren-
do drugs.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I stole that logo and did pair everything.
I love that. Straight bourbon whiskey from Kentucky, finished in PX sherry casks, limited edition, 112.4 proof. This one's probably going to be like $500.
$3,000.
Bardstown Bourbon Company distillate.
Is that like White Dog?
Yeah, this is just for a 50 mil bottle, 100 proof.
Yeah, so they did a set you can buy.
Age none.
I like that.
Yeah. they did a set you can buy that's got this and the Fusion and the Discovery.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
else. I forget what it
think
is.
it's time to do a experiment.
What's your experiment?
I don't know. I want to figure out a way to do.
Do you want to take their distillate and put it in the barrel?
Yeah, but I want to figure out a way to do chocolate finished or something. Just
Okay.
something, no, like some kind of snack, something. Like we took one of that little barrel, we put something in it, let it sit for a little bit, washed it out, then we could just put that in there.
Yeah, okay.
Let it age a little
I'm
bit.
down.
We could check it every little bit.
Yeah. I still haven't dumped that barrel.
Oh my
yet
God, that
either.
thing's probably
So,
oaky as hell.
It's
right
not.
now.
It's not good.
Yeah, it
at
was
the
so
moment.
good in the beginning.
Yeah. 60% corn, 36 rye, 4% malted barley. I am here for that mash bill. Another way down the mountain.
Wait, is that batch one?
101 proof straight cask.
I want to. I may reach out to these guys and see if we can get something for the
101.
podcast.
I think you should. Yeah.
I'm not-
101. 101. You know what that means?
Well, they're new, and to have one of their first products be that old is crazy.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'll be happy to find out what's up with that. Another World Whiskey Society Reserve Collection, 12 years old. Distilled at Heaven Hill. Finished in Oloroso sherry casks. Interesting.
Jeff the Creed's doing a single barrel program.
Interesting. Good for them.
I asked about this about a year ago when they came and did a tasting, and they said, yeah, we might have like 6 to 8 barrels prepared for people to pick next year. So I'm thinking that's going to be pretty limited. But
The Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series. BEP. BEP. An expression with prominent wood sugars bringing forth strong notes of vanilla, caramel, and sweet spice. Stave details. 10 virgin toasted French oak staves.
I maintain that they all sound like Star Wars droids.
Yeah, I was going to say that
Absolutely.
sounds like your little sidekick droid.
Yeah.
Bep.
What's up, Bep?
3, 2, 1.
Yep.
With our 2020, this is for next year, 2023 Wood Finishing Series release, we're showcasing the influence of our unique 110 barrel entry proof. We go in at this lower proof to achieve the one-of-a-kind taste profile Bill Samuels Sr. established in 1953. Pete is Pete. Pete's Pete. Golly, there's all these triple cask. What is this? Triple cask filibuster?
What'd you call me?
Filibuster? I barely know her.
What?
Straight bourbon whiskey finished in a sherry cask. It's barrel proof.
Yeah,
Scotch barrels.
it's just all finished.
Yeah.
That RD1, that's Mark Stoops brand, right?
Yeah,
what was it called?
that's the William Tarr.
William
Yeah.
Tarr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From our buddy Barry. So
Barry.
I don't know if this is replacing the Tar brand or
It's another extension.
I don't know. I was really surprised because their inheritance release that they did with the 4 single barrels, I saw it quite a few places, but every person that picked it up said it was fantastic.
Oh, good.
It was pricey.
yeah. I mean, all the stuff that I've had from them has been good,
Yeah.
but yeah, from what I understand, it's quite expensive. But it's time for us to do a review.
This one's like, a review.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Haven't done a review in a while.
I'm ready, kids.
Kids.
As long as you're 21 and over.
Kids.
Anyway, so we are going to be reviewing the newest edition of 15 Stars Fine Aged Bourbon Private Stock, aged 7 and 15 years at that magical bourbon proof of 107.
Oh.
I'm glad that
Yes.
it's a 15 year this time because something about my slight OCD with the 14 year that was 15 stars, like it hurt a little bit.
14, 15, age this and that.
I can't open it.
Go ahead, hit him with the thanks, Daddy. He loves it.
Thanks, Papa.
Papa.
I wasn't going to give you the full satisfaction. So this was sent to us, the sample for free by 15 Stars, and they asked everybody who received a sample of it to wait until August 1st to release their review. So 2 days after that, I feel like it's not too bad.
That's pretty close.
But I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. I got this the day before I left on my last trip, so it's been open for a little while. I had maybe an ounce out of it, and I was pretty impressed out of the gate.
I like the nose right off the bat. I'll tell you that. It smells.
Oh, I do too.
It smells like aged Kentucky bourbon.
It really does.
Just straight up.
I don't know where this is sourced from. Of course, it says private stock, so it's probably something that their founders had sitting around. I'll need to look up some of the information on it.
Can I see the label again?
Yeah, sure.
I've only ever seen this behind a case, so I've not actually been able to. Well, not this one, but their other release.
I like that nose. I'll tell you that.
What if you finished it in fudge rounds?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to make a barrel that was as some way finished in fudge rounds.
What if we just did? So
Could we
there's
take like the syrup, like chocolate syrup, and let it sit for a little bit, wash it out. Maybe take some like icing, put it in there, wash it out,
yeah.
and then put the distillate in there.
I think that'd be nice. I'd be about that. There's a guy on TikTok that's doing some stuff where he does kind of that thing. He'll take something and put it in a mason jar and roll goofy, and then he'll pull it out, try to eat it if it's still together.
Yeah.
And then he just like takes a shot of it, rates it. I feel like you could do that with snack cakes.
Yeah. I wish I just had like income just throw away, because it's like, what if it sucks so bad and we spend all this money on all the Bardstown distillate?
Well, I think
it's probably like $1,000 anyway.
I think you could probably do that with like JW Dant or something.
Yeah.
Just toss it in
Do
there.
that. And then we perfect it, and then we buy a normal size barrel, and we just go fucking ham on it.
Yeah, we call it good times.
Well,
How about great times?
Great times.
gooder times.
It's gooder times. Finished in
not
fudge rounds.
not better,
Goodest,
not
Goodest
better
Brothers
times, gooder times.
Reserve. Goodest Brothers Reserve.
Best Bros Reserve.
Goodest Bros having the time of their life reserve. Okay, I could just smell this all day. I haven't even took a drink yet.
I haven't either.
It smells.
It smells and tastes very citrusy.
Does it?
I think so, at the very least.
The only citrus I get maybe like an orange spray. You know, when like somebody makes an old fashioned right on your table and like they spritz the orange in front of you. You know what I mean?
For me, I get like those pine nuts. Have you ever had those before?
Yeah.
Those pine nuts, baking spices, and just straight up orange peel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orange peel for sure.
It's
absolutely.
chocolate oranges and like oak to me on the nose.
I like it.
That is refreshing.
It really is.
You know, I have been on a kick of just getting the highest proof bourbon I can possibly find and be like, oh yeah, this is amazing. And then to step it down to 107, even just from that larceny I had earlier,
Yeah.
it's so nice. Like
It
it
really
feels
It's refreshing.
borderline
It's a refreshing-
crushable.
It does.
It's very crushable.
Yeah.
It's more orange comes through, but it's almost like it's orange candy, maybe orange Kool-Aid.
Did you ever get those like orange sticks, the chocolate covered sticks, and it's just like almost a gelatin consistency inside?
We had some.
Yeah.
We paired them up with something.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that same orange flavor.
It's like
'Cause-
orange jelly.
Yeah, it's not like the Terry's chocolate orange. That's like too much. That's like the orange oil. That's
Yeah,
but
not
like
the ones that you
jelly.
pull apart and stuff like that.
Somebody gave those to us, right?
Yeah, he was a listener that I met at the Beaumont when I did a tasting
yeah,
with Dixon.
Yeah, that's right.
Or even those like orange slices with the powdered sugar, just minus
That
the
was John.
sweetness.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Like, when you see the 15 years and you're thinking like it's going to be like oaky and all that, but this is really just refreshing.
This does feel like the 7 year is more prominent than the 15, which I
Exactly.
know a lot of people may find like almost upsetting. Like, oh, I didn't get a ton of that 15 year. Shut up, it's delicious.
7 to like 10 years is one of my favorite spots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
That's
And this,
good.
This is awesome because you're going to have a lot of people too that are really just not super into that like 130 proof category you can sometimes reach. And if they wanted to splurge on a bottle of whiskey.
Well, I think this is good too
This
if
would be
you
great.
like you can sit and like smell it all day in a Glen and pick notes out, but if you're like it's the end of the day, you know, evening, you got the rest of the night off, take a rocks glass and just like
Oh, this
fucking just pour it half full of it and just hold on to it for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
This could start and finish your night.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
it's porch sitting whiskey, man.
Yeah. Not here because it's fucking hot as balls, but
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
am-
dude. Fall comes around and I'm just sitting on the back deck and it's just cool and cooking or something. I'd fill half of a rocks glass up with this and just sit there and chill.
I am really struggling to find the price for this anywhere.
So what was the last 15-star price?
It was expensive.
But was it a single barrel?
No.
But it was like 14 years old though, right?
Yes.
So let's just judge it at the last price. I think it was like $250. I think it was like $249.99, right? It was up there.
I'd pay $120 for this.
Sealbox has the 14 year at $280.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if we say 120, 125
I'd be
for
okay
this,
with that.
I'm not upset about that.
If it's that. Don't hold us to it. We're
I
just
hate,
guessing.
yeah, I hate to be saying this without any kind of.
We're going to have to put our own price on it, basically.
If I find out what it is before the episode comes out, I'll put it in right here. Okay, so we were able to find out what the price of the 15-star private stock release was. This was thanks to our friends over at the IPG agency on Instagram. They are the ones who were able to get it set up so that we could get sent the sample for this week's episode, and they confirmed that it is $130 a bottle, or excuse me, $140 actually. So we were not too far off from our guesstimations, but anyway, back to the episode. And maybe you all know. If not, then
we're going to go with, what do you want to say?
I say
150.
150?
You want to go 150?
150.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
150. With bourbon as young as 7 years old in this blend, it's a little bit more than what I would like to pay for it. But that being said, I mean, I don't really want to pay $280 for a 14-year-old bourbon either. So,
How much would you pay for a bottle of Front Porch Batch? Because that's almost a 7-year.
that's a really good question. I think I've bought one on secondary for like $130.
Yeah, so getting up there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying if you were to enjoy these whiskeys,
Okay.
comparably,
You know what? You bring up a good point because I mean this does have older stock.
this is kind of the
in it
same
as well.
blending technique I would see out of a Booker's. Granted, it's not cast strength.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, Booker's has been kind of shamed for their price in the last little bit, but there are people that genuinely still enjoy some of, especially the older batches, and would pay more for them.
Yeah.
I would buy this over a Booker's 8 days out of 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going Beatles math here.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Scott Steiner. 33.3% times 2 divided by 4 equals, yeah.
You know, I'm not super worried about the price point, just because, I mean, it's a newer thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're paying overhead that some of these bigger distilleries have kind of figured out over the years. And then on top of it, I'm with Eric. I think out of the newer Booker's releases, being around 7 years old, I feel like this holds its own.
If you put this up against Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery, it's kind of the same deal, right? Older bourbons blended with some younger ones and stuff, and they're what, 130, 140?
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. When I go to rate this, it's probably still not going to be the most amazing thing. Like there's better deals out there. I'm just trying to justify their price point, potential price point.
Yeah, we're guessing right now.
I think that this is going to be a weirder one where we have to kind of give our full score as opposed to breaking down each category.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Just because we don't know exactly what it was, what the price point is here. But I think that we can still kind of, estimate everything. Normally, so we do nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. Multiply by 5 if you want to, see what it would be out of 100. I think I'm gonna give this a 13 out of 20.
Oh, I gotta add my stuff up.
Well, I'm not really like. I'm just kind of going off of a.
That's a good score, though.
No, it's because I think this is a very good bourbon, but I'm just kind of generalizing what I would expect everything to be based on the quality of this and how much we're kind of expecting it would be.
Yeah.
Price wise.
I mean, if it's out of 20, I'd probably put it around like a 12.5, 13.
Yeah.
About the same. And it's nice. I do like some extra proof, so maybe this release is for that person that's like, man, I want something strong. I usually drink like Evan Williams single barrel, but I want something with a little more kick to it. Like this would be their jam. This is going to be for those people that don't love that 130 proof release.
I'm right around the same ballpark. I said 14, and that was me. That's me thinking it's going to be around 120, 150. And I love the finish on it, so I get the finish a little bit higher score.
Yeah.
Finish is good.
Yeah.
The nuttiness is good. It makes me wonder if maybe they got some of that 15-year-old Beam distillate.
Oh, they might have.
Part of this.
Yeah. I just think it's good across the board.
I would love to know what the two are in there. If it's like two different,
I would too.
Two different distilleries.
Well, from what I saw, they said that one of the distillates, the barrel entry proof is as low as 103. I don't know of anybody with other than like New Riff or Wilderness Trail, but even then, I don't think it's consistently that low.
I've kind of given up on trying to figure out distilleries after like last week. So those labels that we pulled up from the World Whiskey Society.
Why last week?
Did you see those? Click on the back of them, and they have a mash bill from Heaven Hill I've never seen, just straight up never heard of.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, that mash bill's so and so, and then now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I have no clue.
Do you think bigger distilleries have like a warehouse of experimental stuff that they're like, we can't put this out?
Yeah, look at New Riff. We went and they're just like, yeah, that's our normal warehouse, and then this is like all the stuff you're never gonna ever hear about.
Yeah, that's true.
This is our NDA warehouse, and this is our about this warehouse.
But like even someplace like Buffalo Trace, we know that they have a bunch of experimental products that have never actually made it to market. I don't know if you remember or not, Swan, but when I was working for a particular company, somebody that I worked with used to work for Buffalo Trace, and she had a failed experimental collection bottle that I think you were on the podcast at that point.
Yeah,
that
I remember you telling me about it.
I brought home for us to try. I'm sure I have a picture of it somewhere, but it was it's experiments don't go right 100% of the time. So it's totally possible that could just be something that they had sitting around. But I think this is just a really good product.
It's good
overall. I can't say too much about the price, of course, because we don't know exactly what it is. But I think that it's very well crafted. I think it's very intentional as well, and I'd be curious to see what they do in the future.
Yeah,
with more of their stuff, because price points aside, I have enjoyed everything that we have gotten to try from 15 Stars.
If this is 150 or below, I will buy a bottle.
I might.
I might
as well.
I can smell my glass right. Like it's good. Such a great nose. Great nose and great finish.
Now I'm getting some tobacco on there.
Yeah,
it's good.
Me too.
It's good.
Oh,
big fan.
I dig it. I dig it a lot. Before we get to tips and bits, we've got our newest segment of the show, which was brought on because Swan started some rifts in the Facebook group, and it was suggested by Michael Sullivan. This is called High Proof Hot Takes.
If you want to see those hot takes, go to the This Is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group, join, answer some questions, and you can see what Swan was posting while I was in Facebook jail. He was gunning for me.
I'm gonna rescind one of my hot takes. I think that's what I'm gonna go for, because I made 7. You guys should all go check them out.
That's not a hot take. That's a retraction.
No, it's a hot take for him, though.
It is a retraction, yeah. But
you rescind yourself? Like,
yeah,
that's a hot
because
take.
you put something in one of mine as a comment, and I'm just like, I can do that. That's easy. I can definitely defend my point, and I could not defend my point. Could not defend my point. So I put on there that Hostess was better than Little Debbie. And then the first comment I got from Eric, the second he got out of Facebook jail, was basically just like, name a company that doesn't use the same cupcake with just different flavors. And I was just like, I got that. And I went to the gas station. And I was looking around. I'm like, I no longer got that. Like, they're delicious, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
like, I get it.
they're
Like, they're all
great, yeah.
fun, they're different, and everything is literally either mimicked slightly from Little Debbie or it's that cupcake redone in a different way.
It's the cupcake, it's the zinger, and it's the donuts.
The only thing I feel like they do better, genuinely, is those little coffee cakes. I know they're boring as a snack, but damn, are they
That's
good.
a good snack.
They are good.
But
They're
you can't
good.
go to Hostess and be like, hey, give me your oatmeal cream pie version, or give me your fudge round version, or give me this. Like, they literally have like 4 key snacks, and they just change the flavors of them over and over.
Yeah, they sure
Like-
do.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store and the gas station. I'm like, I'm gonna prove this dude wrong. He's gonna feel the swan wrath. Like, I'm gonna make sure he knows. And then I was like, all right, well, if not Hostess, who? And then I looked at it and I was just like, well, moon pies. And I'm like, they're all moon pies. Every single one is just a different flavor. And I was like, all right, throw that out. And then you look at like the one-offs, like somebody that makes a snack cake that like they just make the one snack cake. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to stop. This is not worth it. But I meant the other ones, especially the Cincinnati chili, Ian. I'm looking at you.
Oh.
But it's that's all I got, man. It's hot.
Cincy.
Oh, listen, I'm about to move there, so I can say that. I'm thinking
You gotta
about
be
making a
that one.
T-shirt.
You got to be that one guy who's just like, you know what? This ain't that great.
Well,
You're all wrong.
I thought about making a T-shirt, and you can help me with this if you want. I'll draw it up and make it happen if you
Yeah,
want to put
we
it
can
on
do
one of
that.
your websites.
Yeah, sure.
And it's just going to be a little checklist. Have the box for marking through with a little check, and it's just going to say Skyline, and then it's going to say Gold Star, and then down at the bottom written in, it's just going to say Wendy's with a check mark next to it, and no box.
I'd even put that canned chili, that like the Heyman's, is that what it's called? Harmel or something like that. I'd put that on there.
I think that's gonna be my stance.
Oh my gosh. Eric, high proof hot takes this week.
High proof hot takes. You know what? Whether you have 1 or 1 million followers, if you post a picture of bourbon on your Instagram or social media, you are a bourbon influencer. So,
What's this in reference to, Eric?
I don't know.
What specific thing happened this week that makes you think this, Eric?
Nothing. There's nothing against.
Was it from an article that was posted on the internet, Eric?
It was. Listen, there's an Uproxx article talking about bourbon influencers, and everybody on the list makes great content. I have nothing against that. I am against a article that specifically says these bourbon influencers help you find the best whiskey. Or
Yeah, it was a really bad way of phrasing it.
I don't like that because not everybody is out to help you find it. Yes, they're influencing what you buy, but this made it sound like you could go to everybody's pages and be like, "Hey, is this person going to tell me how to find anything?" No. They're going to do reviews. They're going to show great pictures, and they're going to be entertaining. I think it should be Uproxx's top entertainers of whiskey. Like, that's just how I feel. And I know a lot of people on that list, and I know a lot of people that should be on that list. Whiskey Morgue, Burb Your Enthusiasm, Barrel Proof Nerd, Louisville Bourbon Buzz, that are
The
maybe...
Slow Bourbon Podcast. Swan
That's
TV.
just a given.
Swan TV.
So that's the reason I got
I'm not
rid
even
of my
putting
account.
myself on that. I'm just saying.
Seriously,
What now?
that was the reason why I got rid of my Bourbon Finder.
Yeah.
Because people would be like, "Hey man, I noticed you posted this bottle. Where can I find that?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I can't help you. I can't help you."
But everybody, if your friend who doesn't even have an Instagram comes over to your house and says, You should try this. This is good. He's a bourbon influencer. He just influenced you to that. I just think like Uprocks is the one that I don't have that I have the issue with. Like, put bourbon content creators or bourbon social media or something that you would enjoy following, that you would like to send a message to or something. Don't put these people will help you find whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I just don't like that. That's my hot take. I love everybody on the list. Like, I know several of them. They deserve to be on the list. There's more that deserves to be on the list. But not everybody is going to just send you a message and say, yeah, go do this or do this. You have to learn how to find your own whiskey. Like, you have to make relationships. You have to find a friend.
Pushed out of the nest eventually.
Yeah, you got to find a friend that will help you or something like that. There's not a social media account that's going to send you the address and say, go here at this time, and you're going to get a good deal, and you're going to find your best whiskey.
Yeah.
But that's just it. The hot take is about Uprocks, the way they labeled it, and they should have did top 50 and put a lot more people on there. So there you go.
I'm going to go a little bit different because my past week and a half has been filled with a lot of frustration from my offspring. Parenting. I was talking about this with John from the Embellished podcast the other night. This is like a much heavier thing to talk about, but every parent at some point, when they are frustrated with their child, gets the urge to find ways to shut them up. And a big thing that we're always kind of told is don't shake the baby.
Yeah.
But there is legitimately a moment where you get so frustrated that you almost consider it. But it's true. It's true. And the more that I talk to parents, the more that I hear that is a thing that we all experience.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the don't shake the baby notion is so no duh, and then you have one, you're like, I get why they say
that's
that.
exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Is that you kind of go into it thinking, well, I would never be that way. I would never even consider it. But then not that it's okay to feel frustration and everything, and I mean it's okay to go through that feel, especially if you come out on the other end going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I felt that way, even for a second. But it's something that is really not really talked about with a lot of parents, that you do kind of hit that breaking point every now and then where you're like, I don't know what else to do.
I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any parent that I know, a friend of mine, that has not hit a breaking point at some point, whether they thought of whatever they thought of. It's just, you have to leave the room. You have to just stop. It's a lot sometimes.
I think that, and I'm not trying to project my own feelings into the world, but I do think that it's at its worst when you have a toddler that can't take care of themselves, when you have to be extremely present and you have to be in the room with them constantly, and you can't leave them alone for a second because you don't know what they're going to get into, or if they might fall off the couch, or find something that they could ram their face into, or whatever. But it's not an uncommon feeling to get so frustrated that you don't know what to do, and you react very caveman-like.
We're all cavemen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good to think that you have to keep that to yourself either.
No, not at all. No, I think that you have to talk about that with people, and the more that we kind of normalize the struggles that we have dealing with adversity as parents, the better.
Yeah.
Because I mean, from everything that I understand, a lot of us are just going through the same thing, and we're all kind of feeling the same feelings and whatnot. So, it's weird. It's tough because you do have that thought for a second, and you go, "I'm the worst parent ever."
I've thought that many times.
How would I ever consider something like that? And then you just kind of realize that it's not you being a bad parent. It's just you kind of being a person in a situation where you don't understand.
I think the problem comes if you don't feel that way. If you
Well, okay, that's
I'm saying
that's
like
a really, really good point, though. If you don't feel remorse for,
yeah, I think that's the I think people like that. That's the bad ones. So I'm just saying.
No, I don't disagree with you. It's just it's weird to say, well, that's what makes a parent a bad parent, because we can kind of point to something specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like I as your children rampage around upstairs. Yeah. But I would, I don't know. I would have a hard time, aside from something like that, saying that is a bad parent, because I wouldn't necessarily want somebody else to look at me from a very limited viewpoint and say, there's a bad dad.
I mean,
I'm doing my best here.
I mean, you don't got arms of tattoos and all this stuff, like,
What's that matter?
because people judge you based on that. People will judge you.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
I'm just saying, like, maybe that's another hot take. Like, people will judge you based on your looks and what you wear.
Yeah, of course.
And if you don't look like a boring ass dad just walking around in his polo shirt, then people automatically judge you, and that's just the life we live right now. So
I think that's something else too, is that it's okay to maintain your own identity.
it is. You should.
as a person outside of being a parent. Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
It's really something to be aware of.
Swan, what about your pets? Are you good?
I haven't picked up my cat and shaken it anytime. So
Mostly with like pets though, it's like, you're the best pet ever.
Yeah.
It's not to like shut them up or anything.
yeah, I mean, my cat, every time I pick it up, it looks cool with it for about 30 seconds, and it's like, put me down.
Yeah.
Put me down.
You put it down.
And I put it down.
My our older cat got in bed with us this morning and started kneading at Lucy's head. So that was fun.
Yeah.
That was one of the ways I woke up this morning.
Man, this got deep. I was just
Tips
talking
and
about
bits.
snack
Well, yeah.
cakes and
Hey,
That's high proof hot takes. It's
High-proof
one of our
hots.
more serious
I think it's the
portions
stuff
of the
that
show.
people want to hear. They don't necessarily want to talk about, but I think that's the way it should be.
This is my Bourbon Podcast. It's for everybody.
Yes, it is for everybody. So if you don't
So-
have kids and don't, I'm sorry, you just dealt with all that.
But if you do have kids eventually, come back to this and you'll understand what we're talking about. But tips and bits. What do you guys have to recommend this week?
I have been playing Pokemon Arceus
For the first time?
for the first time.
How do you like it?
It is a great game. It is a terrible Pokemon game.
See, I think it makes it, the mechanics make it one of the best Pokemon games.
I feel like it is so far removed from the original style that they followed and done super, super well with. However, I love it as a game. I love playing it. It's just not... If you're going into it thinking, I'm going to be 8 gems, go to the Elite Four that happens to have a 5th person, and then I'm going to love every second of it and grind it out and have this 1% X spawn chance on this and go to this grass and spend too much time doing this, and mom's going to remind me I need to get the running shoes before I leave. You're not going to have that.
Damn.
But if you're...
This is my Pokemon podcast, right?
Yeah, love Pokemon. But you're not
For
going to get
everybody who
that.
thought that we weren't a nerdy podcast before Eric joined, you're wrong. You're wrong, because
making my Pikachu
Swan and I
feel
did this
something right
all
now.
the time
All the time.
before Eric became a part of the podcast.
Why do you think I listen to this podcast?
Exactly.
But Arceus, though, you run around. You have a good time. It's interesting. The concept's different. It does feel a little bit more almost like Zelda and Pokemon kind of became a different game the way
That's fair.
it functions.
Yeah. Well, it does remind me of the way that Breath of the Wild departed from the typical Zelda style.
Yeah, and I think part of that was console limitations leading up to this.
What do you mean? Like they weren't able to do this kind of thing beforehand?
I couldn't imagine them doing this on the DS. Not to the same extent, at least.
I hear that, but then I also think of like Monster Hunter, which did have like an more open world. You know, like you're not just being spawned with a new creature to fight. I mean, like you were able to see them and aware of them. And I mean that was a pretty big title for the DS.
It was, so. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a one-off though. I can't think of a whole lot of games that had that like open world.
Well, I'm just
craziness.
saying like that capacity.
Yeah.
Existed. I think that. I think that truly within the Nintendo sphere, Breath of the Wild changed so many people's mindsets for what they could do with an old franchise. And I mean, we saw that with the new Kirby game. We see that with the new Sonic game that's going to be coming out soon too. Mm-hmm. That they are allowed to be innovative and they're allowed to do something that's not so cut from the same cloth.
It could even be just more simple than that. They could have watched Breath of the Wild blow up. The guy that was going to develop the next Pokemon game went, I like that. Let's do that. I mean, sure. So either way, great game. I have fun with it. I think it's interesting the way that they're able to collaborate even with Pokemon Go through that, which has somehow held on for so long.
I don't understand that because like I even re-downloaded Pokemon Go and I've opened it once.
It's so fun. I hate it.
God, I haven't played that in forever.
Since it came out in 2016, is that when it started?
Yeah, I went and walked around downtown Indy a couple weeks ago with a power brick in my pocket, and I was like, who am I? So it was fun. I had a good time. But yeah, that's my tips and bits. Try it out. I think it's a great intro to Pokemon. You may not, if you like that game and really latch onto it, you may not love the other games, but it's a good game to get into. Just the atmosphere of like the collectability aspect and the playing around with different, creatures, and it's fun.
Yeah.
What have I got to recommend? Let's see. I've just watched some random movies lately. Ambulance. Watch that.
With Jake Gyllenhaal and what's his name from The Watchmen?
Yep. It's old. What's his name? What's the director, writer? Does Avatar?
Michael Cameron?
James
Cameron. Sorry, yeah. I was thinking of the Transformers guy.
Yeah, Michael Bay.
Yes,
yeah, but this is James Cameron. I was surprisingly entertained by this.
Did you like it though?
I mean, I'm not going to watch it again. But
it was good. So it has no replay value.
So no.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a movie about bank robbers, and they steal an ambulance, and they end up having to keep alive the security guard that they shot, and one of the paramedics is in the ambulance, and so they're working with this paramedic, and it's just, I will say, the drone shots and the aerial shots, like Cameron is on it.
Sure.
Like he's killing it. The stuff they do while this ambulance is going around LA is ridiculously out of control. Like the paramedic performed surgery on this person through FaceTiming a doctor that she was dating and like all this stuff. Jake Gyllenhaal is straight up over playing everything, like over the top. Like he's
Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Way more. So if you want a movie just to put on and you just want to see some crazy action scenes and like just horrible story that's predictable and like that, put it on. It's you watch it one time, you'll be okay. That's the movie.
I just don't want to watch. I don't want to waste my time with it.
I don't feel like I wasted my time. I don't want to take Sometimes I'll watch a movie and I say, I want my 2 hours back right now, God. Like, give me back my 2 hours. This I was okay with.
Jesus, Lord in heaven.
Yes. Anime side, I watched Belle. It is a movie that is now streaming, or you can rent it. It's basically like a digital, like online version of kind of like Beauty and the Beast. Great soundtrack, good visual, great story. I loved it. It's Belle. And then I would say, I know I'm going to get a little serious with this. We mentioned earlier about the flooding back home where I grew up. I would say if something happens in your life that you get really emotional about, don't be afraid to just let it out every once in a while. I pretty much went 24 hours without knowing what my grandma, what was going on with her. Power lines went out. Like, basically, my hometown is like, it's a disaster. So I was just thinking of the positive stuff, where she lived. Hopefully she's okay. And finally got a text from my uncle who lives there around her. And everybody's safe. Everybody's sound. My friends that I grew up with are safe. But after I found that out, like, I kind of just like sat in my closet for a second and just was like, I just let it out. And I felt so much better afterwards, because it was just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes as adults and, providers and grown-ups, we're supposed to like be strong. We got to, do that. And sometimes you just need to like shrivel up and let it all out, and then you can go about your day. And so that's what I did. And I highly recommend it if you're ever going through anything, to talk to somebody or just sit down in a quiet place and just tear up, cry, and get it out, and then moving on.
It's this is not anything that we haven't talked about on the podcast before, but a particularly more, not necessarily difficult, but more some ways controversial thing to experience or feel or even to express as a man. Is just because that's the way that society has kind of dictated how we should be or react to things that we, shouldn't express those emotions. So important for us to talk about in times of crisis as well. But we are definitely thinking about and praying for and sending good vibes towards your hometown and all those folks out in Eastern Kentucky. Eventually, Kentucky's going to get a break. Eventually, we're not going to have these big weather catastrophes, and we can kind of relax a little bit. But man, it just out of nowhere too. It was just
that was the thing. I think nobody was prepared for it.
Well, I don't think anybody ever is, but it was such a sudden thing. But
anyway,
I almost feel like I don't have any tips and bits after that, because
don't play with your friends' lightsabers.
I barely touched them.
Dash said you broke one.
I didn't break one.
Dash said you did.
The Yoda one doesn't come on.
It needs new batteries.
Well, then that's not my fault, Dash.
I know, but he tried to blame it on you, just saying. Kids. Speaking of kids. Uncle Perry broke the small lightsaber.
Don't
That's
let
what
your
he
kids
said.
tell lies.
Tips and bits.
Raise truthful children.
Perry put his balls on my lightsaber. What?
It's pretty serious. You broke him doing that?
What? That's some big old balls.
Hey, tips and bits.
Hey, what else we got? What's next?
I don't know, man. I don't want to be around anymore.
Neither does that lightsaber.
Fair enough. Speaking of, I don't want to be around anymore. I think You Should Leave got nominated for an Emmy.
I thought he was going to say he got another season. I was like, please.
It's gotta be out within the next year, I'm sure.
Please.
But
I need more.
Go watch I Think You Should Leave. because it's one of my favorite shows of all time, and
Barry's watched it 30 times.
I've watched it a lot. My brother brought up a really funny, I'll tell you about it off air just because it doesn't translate if nobody's seen it. But my brother brought up a really funny part from one episode last night or a couple nights ago that cracked me up. But anyway, I think that about does it for this week. Thank you all so much for listening or watching. As always, it's so good to have Swan back on the podcast.
Happy to be talking into a mic.
We might have to visit the Last Call Lounge next week.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we can come up with something. Or Last Call Lounge will come up with
They'll
something.
come up with something. Yeah, somebody's going to be.
It's a very original bar.
Yeah.
It is. They're always changing.
Great music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good patronage.
Uh-huh.
The bartenders are usually eccentric.
They do have a turnover problem. I feel like I see a new bartender every time I've been there.
Well, the
Some
thing with
hard,
that is
some
that
easier to understand than others.
it's true.
Yeah.
It is very true. Eric,
Yes.
can you bring us home?
I can do it. I got it right here on my phone. I cheat because I forget things. If you want to support the show,
I was gonna see if Swan could pick up any of the slack, but he doesn't have it in front of him the way that you do.
That, yeah. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com. My Bourbon Podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us pay the bills, get new content out to you. And then at $5 a month, you get all the uncut stuff, the bonus episodes. Big ass August.
It's big ass August.
It is big ass August. But yeah, $5 a month. I mean, hell. Like, you probably have a streaming service that you don't even watch a TV show on there. You're paying $5 a month for. Cancel it.
Yeah,
Support the show.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Why am I holding on to Peacock?
Yeah.
The Office. That's it.
That's it. It's only the
It's true.
super
It
fan
might as well
episodes
be
or whatever.
The Office app. If you want to send an email to us, asking us a question, asking us to review something, asking us to do a pairing, asking Swan what he's wearing tomorrow, this is mybourbonshop@gmail.com.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
It's going to be, apparently.
it has been a thing. I just
Why are
haven't
they
told-
sending it to the podcast?
I haven't told you.
I will
about it.
send you back
Okay.
feathers every time.
I've took all those and compiled them into one, and we're going to see if Swan will.
Ah,
what they say.
terrific.
Yeah. If you want to get some merch, bourbonshop.threadless.com or whiskeymutant.shopify.com. If you want to do the barrel rings that we told you earlier, 859-428-8253. Send us a voicemail. We'll play it on here. That's the easiest way to get on the podcast. You ever been on a podcast? No? Well, send the voicemail. You'll be on a podcast for
The
at
face,
least
the
like
face he gave the camera was so
Yeah.
good.
you can do like 30 seconds. You can do longer. How long? Is there a limit? Does
I
it
guess
cut off
as
at some
long
point?
as the voicemail.
You could do a
Inbox
full-on
is good.
review of one of your favorite bottles, and then we'll judge your review. So just think about that.
Or a review of something that we liked but you didn't.
Yeah, think about that. That's good content. Get on there. If you want to
Give us content.
yeah, give us content. It's free for you.
Throw a hot take in there.
Free for you and cheap for them.
Yeah, throw a hot take on there.
CALLATT.
Just cuss on there. That's what I do. If you want to follow us on all social media, it's at My Bourbon Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like I said, we have the Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. If you want to follow me, it's at Whiskey Mutant on TikTok, Instagram. That's all I got. If you want to follow Swan, it's STB.
You got it. No.
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 Swan.
There we go.
Swan. TBF
Yeah. There, yeah, you got it. You got it.
on Instagram. Follow him. Yeah, that was horrible. Sorry, Swan. I was not prepared for yours. It's not on the list that Perry hasn't updated yet.
Blame it on Perry.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
it's
just
all
got that
Perry's
face.
fault.
You know?
Golly.
Yeah.
got that face.
If you want to leave a review, just leave a review on whatever you're listening to. Go to YouTube. Perry goes live every Thursday night. Me and Swan try to join him whenever we can. Like and subscribe to that on YouTube, and then just tell everybody about us. You can tell your grandma. We don't care. Just she may like it. She may drink some bourbon behind your back, and you don't even know what she's got in her cabinet.
Like Mom agrees.
Yeah, Mom agrees. I'm pretty sure she listens to this. And
She might.
then
I don't know.
we have a new Patreon.
We
now.
have a new patron.
Yeah,
Yes.
Brandon Stevens.
Yes, Brandon
Yeah.
Stevens at the $5 tier, which means that he gets all
Brandon.
of the bonus content. Apparently, you have seen Brandon recently, so
Dude, did I?
let us know.
Mall food court. Who even goes to a mall food court anymore? Me and Brandon. And he not only just got one slice of sombrero pizza, he went to Chick-fil-A and he put chicken on the pizza. Have you ever heard of this before?
It's my kind of guy.
Dude, and
Not
then
heard of that, but I love it.
it's called Chick-fil-A pizza. And Brandon Stevens invented it. And he saw me and he was like, dude, you got to try Chick-fil-A pizza. Sombrero pepperoni pizza. 8-piece.
Are you trying to say Sabaro?
Sombrero. That's what I call it.
Sombrero?
That's what I call it. That's what it's called.
I love that hat.
I'm from
It's my
Eastern
favorite
Kentucky. That's what it's called. Sombrero. That's what we call it all the time growing up. But you get a Chick-fil-A nugget meal, and you take your Sombrero pizza, put the chicken nuggets on it, drizzle it with a little Chick-fil-A sauce, and then you have your fries on the side. And it's heavenly. Brandon Stevens, if you do this, tag him in that. Use the hashtag Brandon's Sombrero Pizza Filet. And I can't believe he even joined because he needs his own podcast about taking food court stuff and combining them. He pairs everything.
I would love that podcast.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Brandon pairs everything. Pizza.
That's going to need some work, but I like it.
I don't
No,
believe you.
He's still working on it. He's still working on it. That's just some stuff he's throwing out.
A little spitballing action going. I like it.
Well,
Parrington Stevens. Paradin Stevens.
okay. Anyway, let's get out of here before it gets worse. Thank you all so much
Still
for
figuring it
listening
out.
or watching. As always, if you want to go find out all of the fun stuff that we're doing over on Patreon for Big Ass August.
Big ass August.
Poor choices.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. But until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Swan.
I'm Eric.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.